Okay, it's the Knuckles series, episode 3, review. I just want to take a second to complain about Paramount Plus with ads. It stops to play ads at the beginning, in the middle, and the end, and it doesn't just play 1 or 2 ads, it plays like 3 or 4. I really like a lot of the content Paramount produces, but you expect me to pay $6.99, which is more like $8 Canadian, for this? As much as I have been enjoying the show, the ads have drove me crazy. But oh well, I must be strong for my British red echidna. Episode 3 could have been my favorite episode in the series, but unfortunately it's the first episode that I have one huge problem with, and that problem I think is the biggest problem I have with the whole show. But minus that one glaring issue, I love this episode so much. So in this episode, Wade takes Knuckles to his family's home, even though he hasn't been there in 2 years apparently. They're just spending the night to try to hide from the government right now. The introductions are really funny. While it's a bit awkward since Wade hasn't been home in a while and there clearly seems to be a lot of dysfunction, it doesn't seem to take them very long to adapt to Knuckles' presence. Since this episode is titled The Shabbat Dinner, I did suspect that Wade's family was Jewish, but I was not prepared for what happened in this episode. At first they think he's bringing home a girl, but of course they see it's this red echidna, but even then they still ask, is your friend Jewish? Wade makes up a sort of background on the spot saying that yeah, he thinks Knuckles is half Jewish on his mother's side. I just fucking lost it here, this is so funny. So poor Knuckles has to play along, but fortunately he's actually doing really well since he's already kind of a traditional minded guy. He definitely convinces Wade's mom anyway, and so she invites them both to stay for Shabbat, and Knuckles really enjoys the food. Even though in a previous episode Knuckles told Wade that he only eats Cool Ranch Doritos and grapes. So what was he eating when he was on all those other planets in the galaxy? Did they all just thrive in Cool Ranch Doritos? Anyways, while a lot of this episode is awesome and wholesome and exciting, one thing I absolutely hate about it is the introduction of Wade's sister Wanda. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her. I'm not even going to show her face on this review because I don't want to look at it again and I'm too lazy to find a picture. I think I see what they were trying to do with her, like having her be this really comically dumb character, sort of similar to Wade, except I feel like Wade is considerably less dumb in this series just because we get to know him more. But Wade works because I feel like it doesn't go too far and he's also likable. The problem with Wanda is that it absolutely goes too far to the point where it's unbelievable, like she's a grown-up child, and she is nasty, just unlikable. Ah! Okay, I lied. I did find a picture of her. Now we can all look at her stupid face. Just for an example of how annoying she is, she's an FBI agent, but she acts like a child and she talks about these top secret things in like cool kids slang or like FBI slang apparently. I do get the impression that almost everything she's saying is a lie just to look cool, but it comes off as so forced, it's just painful. She is a super big bully to her brother also. She openly mocks him at the table, again in the most disgusting childish ways, and she even stabs him with a fork. Anyways, there's nothing I find funny about this character, and I don't blame Wade for wanting the bad guys to shoot her later on. Sorry, that's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, I wish she wasn't in this show. It would make the show so much better. But let's stop talking about her, because the rest of this episode is great. Knuckles and Wade have another good heart-to-heart in his childhood bedroom after his mother brings up his father again in a very negative way. Knuckles discovers through a poster on Wade's wall that his father is Pistol Pete Whipple, a famous bowler. He deduces that the reason for Wade wanting to be in the bowling tournament in Reno is because his father will be there. Wade denies this and Knuckles respects that, but I don't think he buys it. But apparently there's a bounty on Wade's head now. I do think that's a little bit weird unless this also relates to Knuckles, because what did Wade do to catch the government's attention again? I guess he accidentally set a car on fire? But word travels fucking fast because these bounty hunters are already at their door and attacking everyone. But they came to the wrong house. Knuckles is more than prepared to protect Wade's family, especially after significantly bonding with his mother. Of course, Knuckles doesn't actually have a Jewish background like Wade pretended he did, but he relates to the Jewish people as Wade's mother explains their traditions to him. And so when Wade's mother tells him to protect the candles from burning down during the fray, Knuckles doesn't question that whatsoever. Knuckles sees this family and their traditions as worth protecting, and we have one of the best scenes in the show where Knuckles and Wade's mom fight off a bunch of thugs in the kitchen with fry pans and whatever they can find, all while trying to protect the Shabbat candles. The ending of the episode is heartwarming because with Knuckles' help, Wade's mom is finally able to celebrate Shabbat with both her children properly. Well, almost properly. Close enough. I love this episode a lot. I love its sincere respect for Jewish culture and family traditions. The amount of representation of the Jewish culture is surprising and kind of bold right now. But really, the only big thing I have to dock it for is that it introduces Wanda, who is the worst character ever. So yeah, I gotta take away points for that. But otherwise, a great episode.